want to go to Mark Green, the Tennessee Republican congressman, sits on the House Armed Services Committee, House Foreign Affairs Committee, has served this country nobly. Congressman, leaving aside the talk of impeachment proceedings against the president, that might be a leap too far here, but we have heard Kevin McCarthy talk about maybe less support for Ukraine, saying it's not a free blank check. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there is no bottomless pit to Republicans' view of the budget like there is with the Democrats. We will not have a blank check for anyone. We're going to look at it. We're going to evaluate each time there's a need brought to us from the administration, and I think you'll see some, sort of dialing back a little bit on that.
So when you say dialing a little bit on that, does that mean that the kind of funding that they've gotten used to, that President Zelensky and Ukraine have gotten used to, will stop under a Republican House and or Senate?
No, I don't mean to suggest that, Neil, and I'm sorry if I communicated that.
Sure.
We don't want a hegemon in Europe. Everything that we're trying to do is to prevent, the recurrence of what happened in 1914 and in 1939, right? So, I mean, this is what it's about. We're going to draw the line. We're not going to be Neville Chamberlain. We're not going to be appeasers, but we're going to count every penny. We're going to want an accountability from the administration on where the dollars are sent, where the missiles are sent. So I think you'll see more accountability, really, than anything.
Congressman, Republicans are talking, and, Kevin McCarthy has outlined an agenda that includes, extending and making permanent the Trump tax cuts, also, pushing for more oil production here in this country to reverse a lot of Biden-era policies. But on the tax cuts, I mean, do you look abroad to what they tried in England? The markets punished the new prime minister because she hadn't come up with a way to pay for them. Can you say Republicans, if they do come up with a tax cut plan, that it will be paid for?
I think he's just talking about extending the tax cuts that are already in place from Trump, which expire at some point. And I think the continuation of that, the big concern here is the supply side of inflation, and people aren't thinking about that. If we have a massive tax increase with those cuts coming out, right? You're talking about a huge cost of doing business. We're talking about a huge decrease in the supply of goods, which will just hammer inflation with all the money that's in the economy now.
All right, we'll watch closely. Congressman Mark Green, good seeing you.
Thanks.
Thank you.